What's up, guys? Welcome back to the #1 channel teaching you how to start your Airbnb business from scratch. I'm Almaty. I'm a multiple six-figure Airbnb superhost. I've generated over $600,000 with Airbnb in just about 2 years. And what we're going to cover today is the top 5 things you need to focus on as an aspiring or new Airbnb superhost. And make sure to stick until the very end because any of these can make or break your entire Airbnb business. #1, let's get right into it. Picking the right property or properties. This is going to basically be about 80% of your success in your entire Airbnb business, and that is choosing the right properties. And I'm assuming you've already done the market research, the city or the town or wherever you're looking to do Airbnb, you've already researched and it's permitted and it's allowed and you've looked into the regulations. The next most important thing is choosing the right property. And what do I mean by the right property? You ideally want to have one of the best, if not the best properties in your area. And that's going to basically make you competitive, be able to charge top dollar and make sure that you're always booked throughout the year. And how do you do that? It really comes down to amenities. Amenities are a big reason that you get booked over another house. What do I mean by amenities? Pool, spa, a putting range, a driver range for golf, a game room, pickleball courts, any of these bigger amenities that stand out, a sauna, really increase the chances that your property is booked over everybody else's properties. And really that's the name of the game in Airbnb at the end of 2024 and especially into 2025. You want to make sure that you have a standout property. Another thing that goes into this, picking the right property, I'm going to say / having the right design, right? Your design and basically how your property looks in photos is extremely important. And when they walk into the property, how does it fare against other houses in the area? You need to make sure that yours, again, is one of the best or at least is competitive with those that are booked year round. #2, once you've locked down an amazing property, whether you bought it or you're doing rental arbitrage, it's got all the amenities, everything we talked about in step 1. The next thing is photography. This is such a crucial step, guys, and my students will tell you the one thing I tell them not to cheap out on is their photos. Your photos are what sell your property on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. They need to be top-notch quality. Make sure you pick a great real estate photographer that's already done Airbnb photos. They'll know exactly how to shoot all the photos. They'll make sure that they get twilight photos, which is photography for right when the sun is setting. You can capture some amazing shots that way. Also daytime photos. And for both of these, you want to make sure it's for both outside and inside. Really, twilight doesn't matter too much for inside, but if you've got a lot of glass in your home and a lot of natural lights, you can get some pretty cool shots that way, even of the interior. But the daytime, you absolutely need both outside and inside. And that's what's going to sell your property. And they're going to know to capture all those amenities and make sure they capture all those amenities so you can highlight them on your listing. And that's how you're going to beat out all your competition and stay booked. #3, your cleaners and other staff, handyman, pool person if you have a pool, and landscaper if you have a backyard or any sort of landscaping needed. But this is the most important right here. Your cleaners are so crucial and pretty much are your operations because they're going to make sure that your property is prepared for the guests in an immaculate fashion. Everything is super clean. They have a checklist that I give my students to make sure that their cleaners all follow, that they don't miss anything, because you want your property to be super clean, super welcoming, smells nice, feels nice, and that's really going to make sure that your guests have a great time. It's one of the most important things that you can have in running a hospitality business is an extremely clean, well put together space. That right there, and you can imagine when you've walked into even a hotel or your own Airbnbs, if you've been Airbnbing out there, you want to make sure that nothing is dirty. That's the biggest turnoff for your experiences. If you find anything wrong, if there's a hair, if there's something that's unclean, if the table is sticky, something didn't get wiped, that will really crush your business, and that's how you get negative reviews. You want to make sure that you have a great relationship with your cleaners. They'll also let you know if there's anything going on with the property or if anything is missing. And as you build that rapport and relationship over time, and as they get to know your property better, that only improves, and they're pretty much like your property manager. All right, next. All right, number 4 is your listing. And really, it's your listing quality, right? Your listing on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, all sells your property, and the way your property is being sold goes hand in hand with the photos, which are a big part of your listing, your title, your listing description. What you want to do to write the best descriptions for your listing and actual property, go to ChatGPT and use the AI. That's a great way to identify exactly what's in your area. Why do people come visit your area where your property is, and list all of the things that your property has and what they can do while they're at your property or in your particular city. Leverage all the tools that you have. ChatGPT is a great way to do that. But your listing and the quality of your listing has to be top notch so that when they're swiping, again, through the photos or clicking on your listings, all of the details on amenities, sleeping arrangements, beds, so on and so forth is all in your listing. And that's going to help you get picked when people are swiping to figure out what property they want to stay at. And that brings me to the 5th and final extremely important aspect to focus on, and that is your reviews. Not only is it important for you to get only 5-star reviews, as much as you possibly can control, but then you also want to make sure that you're not getting any 1 or 2-star reviews and any negative experiences. Now, we're in hospitality, and it's not always easy or possible to avoid, but you can highly reduce the chances of you getting a negative review and increase the chances that you only get 5-star reviews. One of the things that I share with my students is a template and messages that you're able to send out to your guests before, during, and after their stay to help ensure you get only 5-star reviews and you're able to intercept any chance and proactively stop any chance of you getting a 1 or 2-star review. And really, what does this boil down to? The key to getting 5-star reviews is giving an amazing experience to the guests. They naturally will feel compelled to leave you a 5-star review. From the moment they walk into the property, it smells nice, it's super clean, and you'll notice all the other steps kind of factor into this. It matches the photos. That's a really big one. Your property has to match the photos. Your description has to match when they actually walk into the house. They see it's exactly as you described. Ideally, if not, it's even better in person than it is. And that's how you really know you've knocked it out the park. You'll even get some reviews like that if you really nail that whole aspect of this process. And giving them an amazing experience, having very quick and clear communication with the guests really helps handle any issues that come up. Are you quickly and promptly handling those? That's really important in someone's overall experience. And then also, everything with the amenities and the games, game room, pool, spa, all of that stuff has to work very well. And then your chances of getting reviews is very good. And then you can ask your guests to give you that 5-star review once you've first over-delivered on all of these aspects. Now, one of the things you also want to do to prevent negative reviews, one of the things I love to do to prevent negative reviews and has worked extremely well for myself and students is to check in with the guests after they've checked in and also a couple days after they've been there so that you can proactively get a pulse check on what's going on and what their experience has been. And that way you can actually address anything if there's any issues and show that you are proactively making sure that there's nothing wrong and that they're having a great stay. Guests really appreciate that. It shows you care, and it also allows you to proactively intercept any negative experience and address it and nip it in the bud. And that way you'll avoid tons of negative potential reviews just by handling that as they arise. Thanks for watching this video until the end. I hope it was extremely valuable in getting you started with Airbnb and what to focus on. And for those of you that are serious about starting your Airbnb business, I have a completely free 45-minute training masterclass in the link in the description where I teach you how to go from 0 to 10K and scale that out to multiple 6 figures. or even greater. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Be great.